I've got leader roots. I've got leader roots. All I can do is.
Hey, welcome back to the Leader Roots Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Smallwood. Hey, on the show, we explore the heart of leadership and just being a good human resource for others. And we hope to do that. And today's topic is making deposit. But before we get started, I want to thank you for tuning into the podcast. I am grateful because without you, the show would not be possible. I also want to encourage all the listeners who tune in. Guys, get some people in your life that can help you grow, that can help you be a better you. You know, no man is an island, and we can all use help to be a better version of ourselves. So we can only make a withdrawal from what's been deposited. In today's episode, I want to talk about making life deposits in the lives of others and the frustration of asking someone to do what they don't have. You know, we have a lot of exceptions or a lot of expectations of each other. We have a lot of expectations of each other. And we assume that once we reach a certain age or maturity level, a person should be equipped to do this or to behave like that. And when someone fails to meet those expectations, we get frustrated and disappointed. But I'll tell you, unconsciously, our expectations of others are drawn from our own life experience and our philosophies based on the deposits that people have made in our lives. It's just true. To you, your expectations are a normal ask or a simple request. But I can tell you, it doesn't matter how simple. If life has not made a deposit in my thinking, I can't give you what I don't have. Let me tell you this story. In the mid-1980s, and I know I'm dating myself, I rode a Greyhound bus for the first time, and I must admit for the last time. I was in the Navy at the time, and the ride was from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Charleston, South Carolina. One of my Navy buddies, Johnny Ray Austin, he was on a ship with me. He lived in Birmingham, Alabama, but he left the Navy, and he was back home for a few months. The bus was stopping in his town, so I made arrangements with him before leaving Tulsa to meet him at the bus station in Birmingham. Well, he was there, on time, and waiting for me to get off the bus. Guys, when I stepped off the bus, he welcomed me with a big hug. I felt like he had hugged me for 2 minutes. It felt weird. But I'll tell you, I know it was only like 2 seconds. But you see, even though I came from a loving family, my father wasn't a hugger, especially to us 7 boys. It wasn't something we missed growing up, because how can you miss something that you never had? It was the norm, and it was okay. But after 30 minutes of a conversation and a layover at the station, we said our goodbyes, and I boarded the bus and continued on my journey. You know, on the bus, I couldn't help but think about the strange feeling of being welcomed with a hug, especially from a male friend. I remember thinking to myself, okay, I'm still intact, I'm good, everything's cool, I'm okay. I remember sharing the encounter with my wife when I got back from Charleston. Johnny Ray, though, made a deposit in my life that wasn't there before, a deposit of affection, a deposit that it's okay to hug somebody that you care about, anyone that you care about. But this was new to me. Years after Birmingham experience, I attended one of my younger brother's graduations from college. Guys, I was so proud of him. I reached to give my brother a hug to congratulate him, a quick hug, and then he pushed me away and he said, "Hey, a handshake, bro. A handshake's good." It was kind of funny, but it was also educational because I understood how he felt. Where there's no deposit, there's no withdrawal. But I'm happy to report that he now hugs both of his adult sons. Guys, and then a lot of years later, when I started working for the company, a mechanic I worked alongside have shared with me that he had a 6-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son. I don't remember how we got to the conversation, but he shared with me that his son was always upset with him because when it was time for bed, he kissed and hugged his daughter goodnight, but he didn't kiss and hug his son. Through the conversation, he shared that his dad had never hugged him or ever told him or his brother that he loved him. He told me that his wife had also had concerns that he didn't show, that he loved his son. Hey, no judgment from me. I understood his dilemma. I shared with him my Birmingham story and encouraged him to push through his past. I told him to practice hugging his son and tell his son how much he loved him every time he hugged his daughter. I told him to do it until it becomes a natural thing to do. Let me tell you what happened. Months later, he met me coming into the shop with tears coming down his face. He shared with me how his relationship with his son and wife had improved and how his son stopped picking fights with the other kids in preschool. Guys, I started crying with him. I could imagine how that must feel. So listen, we can't give each other what we don't have. So instead of judging people for what they lack, how about trying to make some deposits so they'll have something to work with? Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. And don't forget to click and subscribe. But even more than that, if you know someone who's having a difficult time showing love, then they can benefit from this. Please share it with them. To follow me and to see future topics from other leaders, log on to leadershiponemedia.com. That's leadershiponemedia.com. And we'll see you on the next episode.